Let's take you through the morning papers, many of them focusing on the announcement that we're going to get from John Swinney tomorrow about the exam situation. We'll have more on that in the next 15 minutes with our education correspondent. The Scotsman's headline, Swinney set for rethink as fury over exams grows. It says Mr Swinney's to announce a rethink of the Scottish Government's policy on this year's exam results after coming under pressure from opposition parties. He'll make a statement to the Scottish Parliament tomorrow after a week of controversy over the decision to change the grades of more than a quarter of all pupils in this year's results.
Yeah, the Herald's gone with a very, very similar headline. Swinney set to rethink exam results as pressure to quit grows. Mr Swinney, who is of course also the Deputy First Minister, said, "I have heard the anger of students who feel their hard work has been taken away from them, and I am determined to address it. These are unprecedented times, and as we have said throughout this pandemic, we will not get everything right the first time."
Yeah, the P&J, Swinney bows to anger over exam downgrade chaos. They describe the Education Secretary as being embattled. They say Mr Swinney faces growing calls to quit over the weekend in response to the fiasco, which has resulted in many pupils missing out on the results they expected after being downgraded by the SQA. At the Daily Record's headline, SQA exam scandal U-turn. It said that the Under-Fire Education Secretary said he had heard the anger of students after protests sparked by pupils in poorer areas being worse hit by downgrades than youngsters in more affluent areas.
Scottish Daily Mail has gone for this headline, Swinney set for U-turn over Scots exams farce. Mr Swinney, it says, is already battling to save his job as opposition parties prepared for a vote of no confidence. Inside, it has spoken to officials working for the Children and Young People's Commissioner in Scotland. They have written to the exams quango, says the Scottish Daily Mail, and to the Scottish Government to raise concerns at how the issue has been handled.
The Express and the Telegraph both using the language of U-turns. The Express's headline, SNP to U-turn on exam results scandal. John Swinney saying he'll address anger over the blunders. And again, the Telegraph, Swinney ready for a U-turn after exams fiasco. It makes the point that Nicola Sturgeon, the First Minister, and Mr Swinney spent much of last week defending the system. The paper says that Scottish Labour confirmed yesterday it's still planned to push ahead with a no-confidence vote in Mr Swinney. His climb down over exams will be his second major U-turn this summer, after he also ordered schools to return full-time from this week following a backlash from parents.
The Times this morning goes for humiliated Swinney in bid to quell exams row. It says legal experts working with young people and their families have warned that the approach to awarding results could have contravened an international treaty on children's rights. Dr Tracy Kirk, who's a law lecturer and children's rights academic at Glasgow Caledonian University, said, "I'm aware that there are some people looking to see if they can take legal action." And also the paper goes on to say, in a sign of backbench concern, Alex Neil, a former minister who served on Nicola Sturgeon's cabinet up until 2016, described the decision to downgrade results for schools in poor areas as unforgivable. We'll have Alex Neil on the programme a little later in this morning.